A Jew is not allowed to even walk into a church. In Jewish law, I cannot walk into a church. I'm not even allowed to step in. I can't use a bathroom in it. I cannot walk into the building because unless they don't worship the Trinity, but because they worship a man as God, so it's complete idolatry. No Jew is allowed to walk into a church in Jewish law. But a Jew can go into a mosque. If he wants to, he can pray his afternoon prayers. We pray 3 times a day. We can pray more, but we have 3 times a day. If I want to say my mincha prayer, the afternoon prayer, if I want to say shacharis, I can ask my Muslim friends. I live in the largest Muslim country in the world. I have many, many friends here who are Muslim leaders, and for that, I can ask them, may I use your mosque because I want to pray shacharis, my morning prayer? Not a problem at all, because they worship one true God. So it's just very important that a person should worship one God and one God alone. The Christians who make up all kinds of nonsense about Islam are really making fools out of themselves completely. And in Jewish law, Muslims have the status of B'nai Noach, which means they worship one God. So the answer is absolutely. They just worship one God and one God only. And that's all. This does not mean, incidentally, that Judaism and Islam are identical. That's not the case. But they worship one God. And you'll say, what about they believe that Jesus was a prophet? This is not an issue. Because what Islam has done, really, is to strip away basically the problems of Christianity. So Jews don't we don't follow Jesus. We don't follow Jesus as a prophet. So you have to understand that the Jesus of Christianity and the Jesus of Islam are completely different. And people think they're completely different. It's only superficially that they're similar. In that Muslims completely reject the notion that Jesus was divine in any way. To them, that's complete idolatry. They despise it. Moreover, the notion that Jesus died for sins, to Muslims, that's an abomination. So the notion that you should worship Jesus, that's complete idolatry to a Muslim. The notion that Jesus died, they don't believe he died. The Quran says that it seemed like, there's a lot of discussion on this, but the Quran is very clear. He did not die, he ascended. In Islamic eschatology, they believe that he's going to return, and then 40 years as the Messiah, they do believe that, and then he's going to die. He's not live forever.